Howdy everyone, it's Sam. Welcome back to Wobble and Draw Sports. If you're new around here, I hope I can get you to consider to like the content and subscribe to the channel. But if you are a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. I finally got around to watching the entire coverage that occurred on KO for the NRL's Las Vegas doubleheader out there at Allegiant Stadium, the Savo, or tonight or whatever. And the first thing that you've got to say is hats off. Thank you, congratulations to Andrew Abdo and Peter V'landys. They won. As a matter of fact, the NRL Rugby League won today. Over 40,000, just over 40,000 fans filing in to Allegiant Stadium out there at Las Vegas, and the atmosphere did look pretty good. It looked really, really solid. The coverage started with Yvonne Sampson and the panel talking for about 40 odd minutes, and then they did have the Australian and American national anthems performed, which is a really classy touch. May it continue. And then the games happened, but it goes further than that. The entire week, to see those scenes out there, I think it's called Freedom Street, out there at Las Vegas under those curved ceiling lights out there at Las Vegas, looked insane. I don't think they got 20,000 there. 20,000 would be nuts, but it did look hectic out there. And then the coverage, I think, has been really hit and miss leading up to today. I think NRL 360 was by and large garbage, 3/4 of it anyway, and then it was just a lot of rinse and repeat with the rest of the other panel shows, to be honest with you. So maybe and hopefully they can improve upon that for 2025, and that's the thing. They are locked in. There are people out there that still don't get it. They say, well, if it happens again, no, it's happening for the next 5 years or so. Every team in the NRL will play a game at Allegiant Stadium. So now I'm starting to think whether or not I should go, because let me tell you, I've been one of those people that has been really pessimistic, to put it as lightly as I can. I haven't been a fan of it, but boy howdy, I cannot deny that it has won today. And the big reveal, the real big success of all of this is going to come in the next month or two, where we find out how many people actually watched both games, or just tuned in for a little bit on America's USA Fox Sports 1 network channel, I should say. That's going to obviously be where the success lies, but I've already seen tweets from like a WWE wrestler called JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield. He said, thumbs up sort of thing. He said, this is a really fun sport. So I've only just stopped watching the entire coverage. I had myself a night shift, and I slept throughout the entire day, obviously, and I'm actually recording this on my night shift now. So, but I got through it all. And this is just my reaction and review about it. I mean, it's the season opener, and it's just so exciting to actually have it back and to see how successful it was, and to be proven wrong, to be honest with you. Definitely didn't think that there would be 40,000 people there. I didn't think that the quality of footy would be up there, but boy howdy, and this is where we get into the games today. Both games were pretty impressive. One more a little bit more so than the other, but both games were really impressive. Manly, congratulations to Manly supporters and just the Manly club in general. They won 36-24 against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Keep in mind, Latrell Mitchell missed 3 attempts at conversion, so the scoreline could have been more akin to 36 to 30 in actual fact. 11 tries in the very first game of the NRL season is a mighty, mighty rare statistic that we may not see again. 36 to 24, what an enthralling game of footy. It was sort of hard at first to judge how well the game and the players were going, just because, you know, the brand new location and trying to take off those road-coloured glasses. But every single player from Manly and South Sydney should, honest to goodness, take a bow, because that was an exceptional match of footy, and that's going to be hard because I myself like to do a top 20 games of every year. That's going to be hard to leave out of the top 20 come the season's end. Manly versus South Sydney for me was the better match of the two. It had everything. It had everything in that game. So I picked Manly to win 1-12. I also chose Latrell Mitchell to score a double. Latrell Mitchell just scored the one, but I chose Manly, so I got that tip correct. And Luke Brooks, man, if the first 20 minutes I started to think, where is he? What's he doing here? Come on, man, come on. But from that 20-minute mark inside that first half, he just grew, and the combination with he and Turbo, and we'll get to that bloke in a minute, became so much more stronger. Tom Trbojevic, my goodness gracious, he is going to take Manly to the top 8 on his back. My goodness gracious, it's so good to see him play footy again. And same too with Latrell Mitchell. It was a shame that he couldn't quite get into the game inside the second half, even though he still had a try and a try assist in that game. It would have been great to see Latrell really explode, but we just saw so many nice touches from that bloke. Latrell looks like he is in for a huge, huge year. Credit to Damien Cook and Cody Walker. I thought they were a huge difference inside that first half. And if Cody Walker didn't play, and that was rumoured to have happened, or was to maybe occur, maybe South Sydney do lose 13 plus. I got a query on Daly Cherry Evans, man. Just I feel like the past 18 months or so from DCE, it hasn't been bad. I'm not saying that it's been bad, but gee whiz, man, he has got a tendency to be very, very kick happy. Very kick happy. There was one moment inside that first half where Saab made that break, and of all people, Lachlan Ilias ankle tapped Jason Saab, and his run came to a halt. And then the very next play, DCE tried to put in a grubber kick on zero tackle, and it just blew my mind. And he also went for another inside his own territory kick as well for Jason Saab. And speaking of Saab, unfortunately, it looks like he's going to miss a couple of weeks with a hamstring injury. And it was fascinating and it was really exciting because inside the first 15 minutes, the hits were as big as you can see in a game of rugby league. And I think Lachlan Croker, Jai Arrow, Jackson Polo, and I think somebody else as well, were all bleeding and busted open inside the first 10-15 minutes of the contest. And I just imagine what the American audience would have thought about that, from seeing, you know, just so much blood and so much brutality inside the first 15 minutes. They would have been absolutely frothing over it. But speaking of which, I want to give credit to people that don't usually get credit. I thought Dan Ganane and Braithen Asta's commentary was absolutely spectacular. Credit to Mr. Dan Ganane and Braithen Asta. I thought their commentary was spot on. The refereeing by Ashley Klein, I think it was Gerard Sutton that was in the bunker. I think the refereeing was also spot on. Spot on. There was sort of a moment there where there was a no try to Tom Trbojevic. But they made the right call in the end, in my opinion. There was a moment, maybe they could have looked at that a little bit longer, but no, they came away with the right call. So I think the commentary, I think the camera work, I think the refereeing, the people that don't get much credit, I think all of them need to be congratulated. And I really can't speak more highly enough on Braithen Nasta and Dan Ganane's commentary for Manly and South Sydney. I thought they were just absolutely superb. And credit to Manly. Luke Brooks really sealing the deal with the final try. Second last try, really. And then Richard Kenner scoring the try with 4 minutes to go for South Sydney, making it 36-24, a little bit more respectable. And that's how it should have been, really. It was a very, very close affair between the two sides. I don't think they do battle against each other throughout the remainder of this season as well. So that's one and done. And that's Manly's first victory against South Sydney since 2019. So very good stuff. Very good stuff. But yeah, I thought Taniela Paseka, Ola Kawatu, Luke Brooks, Jason Saab, and Tom Trbojevic, I thought they were all super solid, and Jake Trbojevic also had himself a couple of really good hits as well. Latrell Mitchell was good, one of their best. Unfortunately, Cody Walker, Lachlan Ilias just weren't as sparky in attack, especially inside that second half. Going into East versus Brisbane, this was the more the game with the more arm wrestle factor. I don't think I've ever said that term. I don't think I've ever heard that term, but this game had arm wrestle factor. Eastern Suburbs last year struggled to score points. They scored their first try off of an intercept. There was an intercept by Jason Saab in the earlier game, but the final scoreline for this was the Roosters 20, the Broncos 10, and it was an intercept by Joey Manu, pinching a pass from Ezra Mann. And then there was a penalty goal that was converted by Sam Walker just a few moments later. And I think Broncos, to be perfectly honest with everyone, I think they were the most disappointing team out of all four that took the paddock today. However, how good is Reece Walsh? Oh man, his kicking game is huge. It is sharp. He can do it all, man. He is such an exciting young man. He really is. And when he does sign that contract, that should be any day, pretty much. I think the report is that it's going to be 4 or 5 years for $6 million, which would put him in the top echelon, and rightfully so. Reece Walsh is absolutely amazing. But his counterpart, James Tedesco, really reminded everybody how good he can be. Last year, he was not his normal self. Maybe a career low year for James Tedesco. But in this game, along with Victor Radley as well, man, James Tedesco and Radley really put in the hard yards, put in some really spectacular plays. And yeah, man, Tedesco, really good game. Really, really good game. Victor Radley up there as well for sure. Joey Manu, man, Jesus. I feel like he's a player that doesn't do much. He does almost nothing. But whenever he does touch that pill, man, it just goes berserk. He creates something out of nothing. That flick pass, I think, could be argued maybe a friggin' forward pass just quietly. So he scored a try off an intercept, a try assist with a ridiculous flick pass. I still say that there's an argument that could have been forward, but anyway, it was young Palga that scored the try in the corner, and Joey Manu was still thereabouts as well throughout the game. But he's just, Joey Manu, man, he's just one of those players that I don't think I have a true appreciation of. He's just one of those players for me. Everyone's got one of those players where they go, oh, he's good, but is he that good? And that's the player Joey Manu is for me. He doesn't have too many touches of the pill in most seasons. Like, I'll give him his flowers. The past 2 years, he's been top 3 centre, or he has been the top centre in the competition. But before that, and even in today's game, man, and even in some games over the past couple of years, he's just one of those players that doesn't have a lot of touches, but every touch he makes, he turns it into a bloody winner. He really does. So flowers to Joey Manu, and that's the thing, man. Joey Manu, Joseph Suaalii, JWH, and all that. Roosters, man. I think their defense looked really good. I think they, discipline-wise, for about 60 minutes, 65 minutes there, they looked as well disciplined as I have seen a Roosters outfit. They have been the most ill-disciplined side for years now under Trent Robinson, and they looked like a very well-oiled machine. And then that complaint's probably not the right word, but there was a racial slur that Ezra Mam wanted to bring to the forefront, and it was aimed. It was Spencer Leniu that aimed a racial slur towards Ezra Mam. I've heard rumours of I've read rumours of what the slur was. I'm not going to repeat that. And the interview that I saw Spencer Leniu give immediately after the game, I'm so sorry, man, but yeah, I think Spencer Leniu is going to be sitting out maybe a week or two. He was asked, "What did you say?" sort of thing by Brent Reid, and he said, "Oh, it's all good. It's all fun and games. It's just rugby league. It's on the field, and we move past it." That was a shocker of a response from Spencer Leniu. So he didn't say anything at all. So he's clearly said something, and he's had a shocker in trying to bounce the answer straight off of him, unfortunately. So I do think he's guilty of saying something. And Ezra Mam is a classy character, is a classy player, and he definitely wouldn't have taken the piss by stopping the game and lodging an official complaint to referee Adam G. And again, while this was more of an arm wrestle, therefore a little bit more dour, I think the refereeing from Adam G, there was a little bit more for him to control. There was a little bit more spice in this game. I do think Vossi and Michael Ennis did work well together. I think they did a good job. I just personally think that Dan Ganane and Braithen Astor set the standard so goddamn high that I think that Vossi and Ennis do come away as the silver medalist this weekend. But Roosters, their discipline was strong. The Broncos, it wasn't their discipline without the ball, it was with the ball. And that's been the talk for many months now, that they're a young side that live by the sword, they die by the sword. And today they died by the sword by maybe throwing it past too many. I thought they looked really flat inside the first 10 minutes. And it's just too early to really say, are they in trouble? It's just way too early to say shit like that. Would they have preferred Farnworth and Flegler out there? You bet your bottom dollar they would have. But they did what they could. Haas was good without being brilliant, I thought. I think Adam Reynolds had a really weird kicking game today. He put too many kicks straight up. He put up way too many kicks straight up that only made 20 metres gain where he really needed to cut it down and kick it deep into the infield of the Roosters. But yeah, Adam Reynolds, he didn't have a bad game. I just think he had a really weird kicking game, and I think some of his options just gave Roosters a platform to start from the 30 or even 40 metre line one or two too many times, basically, and that really had them capitalise off of it. So Roosters and Manly, they were definitely both the better teams. It was well refereed in both games, well commentated. The atmosphere was sensational. 40,000, are you joking? That's double than what I thought that was going to happen. So overall, rugby league wins this day will go down as one of, if not the greatest season opener of all time. I think that game, Manly in South Sydney, is one of the best season opening games in history. And we're going to see every team from now on go over to Las Vegas now. So I really hope that you enjoyed listening. I just really wanted to get all that off of my chest and put it out there. And what are your thoughts? I'm pretty sure that everyone's all in the same camp when I say that we all enjoyed it, we all think it's a success, and we hope that we can save up enough money so we can get our asses over there when our team plays. Well, that's it. Thank you very much, guys. And I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you. Take care. Adios.